Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Hello, everybody. Hopefully, people, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if you can hear me or if you're even there. We are coming to you on this Wednesday, and I hope your day's been fair. If you eat some olives or maybe some grilled cheese, your stomach will then fill up with all the food you please. Come join us Wednesday. No one's joining the chat. Not our good friend Joe or some random guy named Pat. Oh, Christine is on now. She says hello, good evening. Then Eric will join with an Ola to be seen. You come on now. I bet a lot of people who never have come on the show get scared away as soon as they hear the singing. And then they're like, I am never coming back to this place again. And that is why our viewership is never that high. How's everyone doing? Are you guys doing good? Hopefully everyone's doing well today. We are coming to you live from the condo. We're also going to be doing a special bracket series today. I just threw my pen. I need that. We're going to be doing our continuation of our bracket series today. So if you've not joined us in the past, things are going to get heated, especially now that the Frank fam is in the building. Because that's the most vicious group of people you will ever see in your entire life. I'm doing good. It's been a very long few weeks here, but I'm doing good. We are, slowly getting back into the things here. I will hopefully get some sleep again tonight, and then I unfortunately have to go back to work on Friday. However, YouTube is going like crazy the last few days, so keep spreading the word, and we will figure it out. Okay, so but hopefully everyone's doing well out there. Let's get this party started because we're going to end our first round tonight. I think we've got 2 left in the first round. Maybe it's 3 left in the first round. Let me look here. We have 3. Our first 3 votes tonight are going to be for getting things into the second round, and then we're going to start our second round right off the bat here. So let's get this party started. We are going to start the 768th episode of the Wednesday show in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 768th episode of the Wednesday show. Today is May 8th, 2024, and I'm your host, as always, Brent Dodge. Hello. Today we're going to be coming to you live from here, and we're going to be continuing our bracket series over, well, I was going to say on the YouTube channel. We are on the YouTube channel, and we're also on the Facebook page right now. But yeah, we're going to be continuing our bracket series right here. So make sure you join us as we have head-to-head competitions. We'll have families come together. We'll also have some families fall apart. So make sure you join us here for the next hour as we go through and have you figure out what the best Disney thing is. But of course, before we get to that, let's talk about our news for the week. First off, thank you to everyone out there who's been joining us for our Saturday in the Park. If you didn't already know, every single Saturday over on my YouTube channel, we do a live broadcast from someplace found throughout the Walt Disney World Resort. You never know where we're going to be broadcasting from, but I promise you we will always be coming to you from Disney. And if you didn't already know, we have been doing some surprise broadcasts as well. Like yesterday, we did take people on a safari ride over at Kilimanjaro Safaris at Disney's Animal Kingdom. And you just never know when we're going to go live. So make sure you are subscribed on YouTube with a little notification bell. If you're watching on YouTube, it's going to be down here. Make sure you hit that little bell and put on notifications for all. And that way you will never miss one of our broadcasts from the park. Also, because we have been doing this every single week, let's take a look at our starting number. We are starting off at 4,529 subscribers. As always, if this number goes up as we go through the evening, we will go into extra innings for our voting in our bracket series tonight. So start sending your friends over. We also have a few videos that are kind of picking up right now. About half an hour ago, they started to pick up a little bit. Actually, this number right before we went live was at 4,530, so we did lose one subscriber in the meantime. But that's okay because we still have an hour with you guys. And like I said, if this number goes up as we go through here, we will go into extra innings as the evening goes on. And of course, as always, tonight's episode is sponsored by our wonderful Patreon pals. That's it. It's a simple one tonight. I don't know what it means, but if you are a Patreon pal and you are in the chat room, give us an oh yeah, so everyone knows who's sponsoring this episode tonight. Thank you to our Patreon pals. You guys are all amazing for being Patreon pals out there. So before we get to that, we have some things coming out in the chat room here. Is 5,000 subscribers the magic number for a media pass? Let's talk a little bit about this because this is a great question and it's a unknown question. Because every time I speak with people on how to get media passes, there's a actual page that Disney has that you can go through and you can like apply for media passes. And every time I speak to them or send them a request, they'll always say, this is what you need to get the media pass. And last time I spoke to them, the person said, if you can get 5,000 subscribers by the end of May, most likely we can get you a media pass. So that is why I am trying so hard to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of May. And last month we had 350 brand new subscribers join us. And as you can see, right now we are at 4,529, which means we are exactly 471 subscribers away from hitting that 5,000 mark. And I am pretty sure that we can hit it because yesterday we released a video about hitting 4,500, and now we are 29 higher than that. So if we keep on spreading the word and keep on watching the videos, liking the videos, if you're actually watching on YouTube, maybe not like the video yet, make sure you like it because that actually helps boost up the algorithm and lets more people know about it too. And that way we can continue to grow as well. So if you've not liked it yet, give the video a like. And if you're not watching from YouTube, I highly, 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 highly recommend watching on YouTube because that also helps boost up my algorithm. Facebook is nice, but Facebook does absolutely nothing for me when it comes to boosting up the algorithm, which is what we really, really need right now. So thank you everyone who's been watching, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. I do appreciate it no matter what. All right, we'll do one more question here, then we're going to go to our voting. Do you know if it's true that DCL, Disney Cruise Line, has taken away the BLT, Bacon Latest Tomato, room service? I have not heard that. This is the first time I'm hearing this, so I have no idea if that's true or not. My next cruise is like in 120 days, I think. Something like that. Eric, what's our cruise count at? Is it 122? Something like that. I don't know. Somewhere around there. But I'm not sure. I will find out as soon as I can. Okay, so if you are joining us for your very first time during our bracket series, the bracket series works out extremely easily. It's a very simplified thing, but it's kind of like March Madness, except for instead of having two games go head-to-head against each other, or two teams go head-to-head against each other in a game, we are having it so there are 4 different categories that we started with, chosen by you, the viewers. We had movies, characters, attractions, and miscellaneous, and we are having it so those categories are going down until we eventually get to a Final Four when the winners of each category will go head-to-head. The people who are watching, well, that watched a few weeks ago, were the people who chose the different categories for what went into each category. So everything has been completely random. And as the weeks have gone through here, we have gone down to eventually getting into 2 numbers left in the very first round of 64. So for our first 3 matchups, it's already set in stone. And then after that, we are going back to the random numbers where you guys are going to be choosing what goes head to head, which brings us to our very first matchup of the evening. Let's get ready to rumble. Okay, so our very first one is going to be 2 characters that are very beloved by completely different groups of people. I should have actually just had, I did not actually type in what the characters were going to be. That would have been a lot easier because I was actually on this earlier making sure that I had everything for the next round all set to go. Okay. So these 2 characters are very beloved by many people, and both of these characters are completely random on where they come from. So let's start off with the first one, because deep in the 100-acre wood, where Christopher Robin plays, you'll find an enchanted neighborhood. But ironically, the only character that's not mentioned in that song is Tigger, who is the character that is found in our first match of the night. Tigger, spelled T-I-double-G-R, is the only Tigger in the world, and we all love him dearly. Now, Tigger goes through and has many special hobbies, and no matter what he does, he is the bestest of them all, and he can beat anyone in anything and everything. Tigger is one of the friends of the 100-acre woods, and he is a stuffed animal, but he is also a tiger. But he also can bounce because of the springs in his tail. Tigger does it all. We love Tigger. He has been in so many different films, starting with The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and then eventually having things like Pooh's Heffalump movie, the Tigger movie, and a few other Winnie the Pooh topic films as well. Overall, we absolutely love Tigger around here. Going up against Tigger, though, is another character that is beloved by many, myself included. This character, unlike Tigger, was created specifically for the parks, and because of that, he is beloved by the park fans all around the world, specifically the ones that are more of a Walt Disney World fan base, specifically people who are a Epcot fan base, because we are talking about, with F-I-G-M-E-N-T, you can see things differently. That's right, Figment. Figment was created specifically for Journey into Imagination with Figment way back in the 1980s. He is the lovable co-host with the Dreamfinder as they go through and enter into your imagination. Along the way, we eventually lost our friend Dreamfinder, and we replaced him with Dr. Nigel Channing. Not the greatest upgrade. Well, it was a downgrade. But Figment still stayed as his lovable, creative self with two tiny wings, eyes big and yellow. It's time to vote, you lovely fellow. So now it's time to put into the chat, Tigger or Figment? Where is it at? Okay, you've got about 90 seconds to throw your votes into the comments starting right now. Who do you want to move into the next round? What is it going to be? Tigger or Figment? We are starting off with not many people watching right now, so there is a chance that if you love one of them more than the other ones, we could have runaways right here at the start of this thing until we get more people coming to the chat room here. Ba-dum-ba-bum. Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum. Two tiny wings, eyes big and yellow. I do love both these characters. I do like one of them more than the other one, though. Like, if I had to choose, and I might have to choose at some point, but if I have to go through and choose, I know exactly who I'm going to be voting for in this round. And it's actually looking fairly close here. I may be killing off yet another character this evening. Haha. Join Coda. Hey, we'll give you guys about 10 more seconds here. And that's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, love Figment, but I have to go to Tigger. That's 1 for Tigger, 2 for Tigger, 3 for Tigger, 4 for Tigger, 4 to 1, 5 to, or 4 to 2. I'm sorry, 4 to 2, 5 to 2, 5 to 3, 5 to 4, 6 to 4. Tigger is moving on to our next round. I personally would have voted for Figment. So Tigger would have died. But I love Tigger, but I love Figment. Figment is such a great character. Okay, we are moving on to our final one in getting our final round to get into, I'm sorry, our final matchup for the attractions to get into the next round here, into the top 32. And this is two attractions that I personally absolutely love for completely different reasons. Okay, so starting off in one corner is an opening day attraction at Disneyland. It also opened up at Walt Disney World 2 days after the park opened up. It would open up on October 3rd of 1971 instead of October 1st, 1971. A lot of people think that it opened up on the first day. It did not open up on the first day. So let's talk a little bit about that one first. We are talking about Peter Pan's Flight. Peter Pan's Flight takes guests on a wonderful, amazing floating journey through Neverland, starting off in the Darling Children's window or bedroom, You fly out the window and you head to the second start to the right and straight on to morning, which takes you off to Neverland. Along the way, you see several of the different famous characters that can be found there, including the pirates, where we have a but we have a fight between Captain Hook and Peter Pan until eventually we sail back to London with our lovable crew. Going up against Peter Pan's flight is another attraction that most people, well, I don't think most people, all people would consider a classic attraction. Despite the fact that it did not open up with Disneyland, it would open up in the 1960s and eventually would become one of the most popular attractions of all time. Not only that, this attraction has opened up in 4 different parks all around the world, and it also holds the record of being the only attraction to appear in 4 different parks and have it so it's in a different land in every single park. Because in Disneyland, it can be found over at Newland Square. Here at Disney World, it can be found in Liberty Square. Over in Disneyland Paris, it can be found in Frontierland. And then, of course, over in Tokyo, it can be found in Fantasyland. And if you don't know what we're talking about, we are talking about the Haunted Mansion. Because the Haunted Mansion has grim grinning ghosts come out to socialize. In this film, or not this film, in this attraction, guests board a doom buggy, where they take a wonderful tour of the Haunted Mansion along with the ghost host. I am your host, your ghost host. Along the way, we go through stretching rooms, we go past scary libraries, and we go through a cemetery where all of the grim grinning ghosts come out to socialize. And that brings us to our next vote. Which one would you like to move on to the round of 32? Is it Peter Pan's Flight or the Haunted Mansion? You have about 90 seconds to throw your votes into the comment, starting right now. Bum, 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 bum. I feel like Haunted Mansion's going to run away with this. That's my prediction. I could be wrong. I love Peter Pan's Flight. Peter Pan's Flight is one of my favorite attractions of all time. But at the same time, I also know that, like myself, a lot of people absolutely love Haunted Mansion. In fact, here, let's do a little fun fact here, because this is actually kind of, when you go through the history of Peter Pan's Flight and you look at it in a storybook form or in a book form, you can have it so, wait, where is it at? Peter Pan's Flight, Peter Pan's Flight. Wait, where is it? Not there. That's Small World. There we go. Peter Pan's Flight, from page 93 to page 95. Very, very, very short chapter, because even though it's an amazing attraction, it's a very not a very detailed attraction compared to things like the Haunted Mansion. Now let's go to the Haunted Mansion here, and then you'll see Haunted Mansion starts on page 48 and ends on page 94. this much of my book, this middle section right here, is all about Haunted Mansion. So a lot more details in a Haunted Mansion, and that is my fun fact about the Haunted Mansion and Peter Pan's Flight. So let's go to our vote here. We got 1 vote for Haunted Mansion, 1 vote for Peter Pan's Flight. That is a 1-1 vote. 2-1 with Haunted Mansion in the lead. 3-1, 3-2, 4-2, 5-2. Peter Pan, I love the queue at Walt Disney World. Haunted Mansion is so different in each park. So 5-4 and 6-4. So 6-4, Haunted Mansion will be moving on to our next round here. Haunted Mansion. Okay, let's move on to our next round, which is another one of miscellaneous. This is going to be our final matchup in the top 64. Whichever one wins here will be moving on to our next round here. And boy, oh boy, when it comes to things that are completely randomized and things that might not seem like they would go together, these two truly don't seem like they would go together. And that is going to bring us to, wait, let me put this on here. Haunted Mansion wins. Oh, wait. So your final Figment wins. I'm just doing this for future Brent to be like, okay, that's what moved on. Figment, Haunted Mansion. Did we miss something? Wait a minute. I'm so confused right now. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Okay, I was like, wait, there's only 2 that we've done, but that's true. We've only done 2. Okay, when it comes to random things that you can do at Walt Disney World, there are 2 things that are beloved by many for completely different reasons. When it comes to miscellaneous things, these 2 are miscellaneous things that are some way connected, but completely different. So let's go on. Well, speaking of going on, we move on. We are gone into the night. Illuminations. Illuminations is one of those things that most people are not completely aware of the historical relevance of this attraction, because this attraction started back in the 1980s as Illuminations, and then it became Illuminations 1990, then Illuminations 1991. Much like Epcot at the same time was being called Epcot 90, Epcot 91. Eventually, in 1999, it would become Illumination Reflections of Earth. Now, Illuminations Reflections of Earth is going to be the version that we are going to be talking about today, but Illuminations Reflections of Earth took us on a 3-course journey all around the world, like literally all around the world, because not only did we show how everyone was connected together, but we also had some amazing pyrotechnics as well. We started with the creation of humankind, and we made our way all the way to current times until at the very end, the giant lotus blossom would bloom, and inside we would have our final giant torch symbolizing the 21st century, because if you would go around, there's 20 different torches. The 21st was symbolism. Hey, who knew? So we had a lot of fireworks, and you had overall an unbelievable show. But it's not the only unbelievable show that we're going to be talking about here, because when it comes to Disney, and it comes to unbelievable shows and unbelievable entertainment, there is one show at Walt Disney World that has been going on for longer than anything else. And I know what you're thinking. Festival of Lion King? No. Think earlier. Mickey's Philhar Magic? No, even earlier, people. I don't know. Can you tell me what it is? Well, yes, because if you want a dinner and you want a show, well, this is only going to be the place to go. Because starting back in the 1970s, going all the way until today, you could go over to Pioneer Hall and have 6 members go through and put on the greatest show and one of the greatest dinners you can find anywhere at Disney property. We are talking about the Hoop-Dee-Doo Review, where we have classic songs like Strawberry, Shortcake. Hoop-Dee-Doo Review brings in a band of musicians and performers, and along the way, they even pull up people from the crowd to be part of their act. They go around the tables and they sing amazing songs like Old Gray Mare, She Ain't What She Used to Be, Ain't What She Used to Be. This is what they actually sing to people for like their 50th anniversary. It's hilarious. And they go through and put on an amazing show while you eat all you can eat barbecue, and it is amazing. If you've never done it, I highly recommend it. And that is going to bring us to our next vote here. Which one would you like to have move on to our next round, Illuminations or the Hoop-Dee-Doo Review? I have a feeling it's going to be Illuminations. Mainly, you have 90 seconds, by the way. Mainly due to the fact that I feel like most people have probably never done Hoop-Dee-Doo Review. I was actually with my friend Frank, who does all the races with me, when he was here, 2 weeks ago? Like 2.5 weeks ago for the races, and we were talking about Hoop-Dee-Doo, and he's like, I've never done Hoop-Dee-Doo. I was like, how have you never done Hoop-Dee-Doo? Hoop-Dee-Doo is such an amazing show. So we're going to try to do Hoop-Dee-Doo when he is here next. Maybe, if we have time. I feel like Illuminations is probably going to run away with this one, mainly due to the fact that I think people miss Illuminations. When you have like a little bit of heart, like I feel like a really interesting one would have been the Osborne Family's Festival of Dancing Lights versus Illuminations. Okay, you guys have about 10 seconds left to throw your votes in there. This is a really good point. Hoop-Dee-Doo, where else can you play a washboard? That's a great point. There's nowhere else can you do that. All right, let's get to your votes here. We got 1 for Illuminations, 2 for Illuminations, 3 for Illuminations, 3-1. We finally got a vote for Hoop-Dee-Doo. 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 6-4, 7-4, 7-4. We have Illuminations moving on to our top 32. And that, my friends, is that's it. We've done the first round. We are officially in our top 32, which means we are going back up to our first round of movies. I need 2 numbers between 1 and 8. This is going to determine what is moving on to our second round here. So 2 numbers, first 2 numbers that pop up in the comments will be our head-to-head competition here. So 2 numbers between 1 and 8. What is going to be our first matchup? Ba-da-boom. 8 and 5 are going to be the first 2 that popped up in the chat room there. 8 and 5 it is. So let's see where we are going here. Oh. Wait a minute. Whoa. Did Figment win or Tigger won? Tigger won, right? I think Tigger won. I wrote down Figment. Now I'm confusing myself. Tigger won, right? I have to go back to my votes. Tigger. Yeah, Tigger won. 1, 2-2, 2-3, 2-4, 3-4, 4-4, 5-4, 6-4. Yeah, Tigger won. Okay, I wrote down Figment, so Figment almost ran away with that. Well, we just talked about Tigger. So Tigger is going to be one of the 2 characters in our next round. He was number 8. Wait a minute. Oh, I went to the wrong one. We're starting with characters, apparently. No, we're not. We're not good at characters. This is a really high-class show right now. Okay, we're not going to characters. We are going to movies. But now I'm glad that I saw that, because otherwise I would have been. Okay, so ignore the fact that I just talked about Figment and Tigger for extra time there. We're going to movies, Brent. Movies, not Tigger. Okay, so 2 things that we have not talked about today, because we have not talked about anything with the movies or anything else like that. We have 2 classic movies. Actually, not only do we have 2 classic movies, these are 2 of the most popular movies that have come out in the last 15 years. And I know what you're thinking. Frozen? No, because Frozen actually lost in the last round. What did it lose to? Oh, maybe it lost to Beauty and the Beast, which makes sense. But Frozen lost in the last round, and that means that there are 2 other very, very popular princess-style movies that have come out in the last few years, and both of them are really worthy of greatness. Now, one of these came out in 2010, and had it so we wondered, when will my life begin? That's right, Tangled. Tangled tells the story of Rapunzel, who was kidnapped as a child, and when she was kidnapped as a child, she was kidnapped by Mother Gothel, who just wanted to stay young, but of course there was a flower that was put inside of a remedy when Rapunzel's mother was pregnant, which made it so Rapunzel had magical powers to stay young forever and have it so her hair would turn golden whenever she would sing, "Flower, gleam and gloom, let your power shine. Make the clock reverse, bring back what once was mine, And of course, she would go through and eventually be rescued by Flynn Rider, and the 2 of them would fall in love. Going Against Tangled is a movie that is beloved by many. So many people actually love this movie that there's actually a sequel that's going to be coming out for this film later on this year. That's right, we are talking about I Am Moana. Moana tells the story about Moana, a little girl who is chosen by the ocean to return the heart of Te Fiti to a mountain. Now, along the way, she meets Maui, who is a demigod and has a lot of other plans besides just, trying to save the world. Instead, he just wants to kind of get off an island because he can't swim. Maui can do anything but float. And then, of course, this is the only movie that I can think of off the top of my head, any animated movie at least, that has a rap where Well, come to think of it, kid, honestly, I could go on and on. I could explain every natural phenomenon. The tide, the grass, the ground. Ah, that was Maui just messing around. I killed an eel. I buried its guts. Sprouted a tree. Now you got coconuts. What's the lesson? What is the takeaway? Don't mess with Maui when he's on a breakaway. And the tapestry here on my skin is a map of the victory of the win. Now it's time for you to vote. Okay, just vote. Tangled or Moana. We are talking about the movies. We're not talking about any characters right now. Tangled versus Moana. Which one do you want to have move on to our Sweet 16? That's right. We are now voting to get into the Sweet 16. You have roughly 90 seconds to throw your votes in there, starting right now. Well, starting about 15 seconds ago, but still starting right now. What's the lesson? What is the takeaway? Don't want to smell with mine when he's on a breakaway. And the tapestry here on my skin is a map of the victory as a win. I love both of these movies. I absolutely. This is two movies that I think are both extremely well done. I think both of them have great storytelling. I think visually they're both amazing. I think they both have incredible songs. This is a tough one. This is actually a very difficult one. I think I know what I would vote for if it comes down to me killing one off. I don't know, because both of these movies I completely fell in love with. You guys have about 20 seconds left to throw your votes in, and right now, looking at both chats from Facebook and from YouTube, this is our closest vote that we'll have probably all night. This is very, very difficult. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, that's 1 for Tangled, 2 for Tangled, 3 for Tangled. I said it was an easy vote. There is no way Moana's gonna. Oh, wait a minute. Moana's got a vote. 4-1 right now. 4-2. Moana gets another vote. 4-3. Moana is coming back. Oh, it is a tie. Wait. Oh my gosh, it's a tie completely. Wait. Okay, listen. Right now, we have 26 people watching between YouTube and Facebook. More of you need to be voting here because that's not fair. This, by the way, this is just where it shows how many people are watching on both things on my end. Okay, this is going to be a lot more difficult for me because now I have to be the tiebreaker. I am, by law, stuck killing off one of these movies, Tangled or Moana. Oh, okay. Let's. I'm going to give myself 90 seconds to vote, too. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. My dad just voted for Tangled. Tangled wins. Thank you so much for killing it off me. No, it's okay. It's okay. My dad killed off the palm trees instead. Tangled is moving on. Tangled is moving on here to our next round. Wow. Okay, I need two numbers between 1 and 8. Throw them into the comments below starting right now. This is going to be for our character line. Yay, Brent's dad. 1 through 8, two numbers pop up. Also, there are a lot of people who are watching right now that are not voting. So if you are one of those people who are watching and not voting, shame on you. Keep on voting. Keep the chat alive. Keep your favorite things alive. Otherwise, things are just dying off here. Okay, I'm still looking for two numbers between 1 and 8. First two to pop up are going to be our two numbers, but right now no one's. We need to know what you would have killed. Tough luck. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. Number 5 and number 3 are two numbers that popped up. 5 versus 3 is going to be fine by me. Okay. When it comes to classic characters, there are a lot of different classic characters that we all know and love. However, two characters that are on our list are probably two of the most iconic characters of them all, and they are actually going to be going head-to-head right now in our next round. Let's start off, once again, in the 100-Acre Wood. Deep in the 100-Acre Wood. By the way, if you've ever noticed over at Magic Kingdom, the shop that is at the exit of the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh has changed its name multiple times. Like at one point it was Pooh's Thoughtful Shop, then it was the 100 Acre Goods, then it was Pooh's Lawful Shop, then it was 100 Acre Goods. At one time, it was Pooh's. It's gone through a lot of name changes. But yeah, anyways, so let's get to it here. So in the 100 Acre Goods or Woods or wherever you want to go, we have a lovable bear named Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh first made his debut during Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree, and then it would eventually get his own feature-length film called The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh in 1997. In the early 1990s, he would get another resurgence as the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, a television series, would debut, and then as time would go on, we would get more and more Winnie the Pooh things popping up throughout all of our life. Eventually, in 1998, Winnie the Pooh would kill off, that's right, I'm not the only one who kills off characters, he would kill off Mr. Toad, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, over at the Magic Kingdom, and then eventually kill off the Country Bear Jamboree in Disneyland, making Winnie the Pooh one of the biggest murderers in history. But that is going to bring him to our opponent today. Going up against Winnie the Pooh is another beloved character that everyone just knows, loves, and absolutely adores, myself included. She is about yay big. She is going to be the sidekick of the one and only Peter Pan. That is right, we are talking about Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell originally made her debut in the 1953 film Peter Pan, where she was a pixie who had very much emotion, but she could only carry one emotion at a time. Eventually, Tinkerbell would go take flight in Disneyland as the person to start out the fireworks, and she would also be the person who would be the host or the mascot for the Disneyland television series. Of course, if you've ever gone through and there's like that big debate about it, Tinkerbell never had a wand and blah blah blah, and people say, oh yeah, fun fact, she never had a wand. She actually did have a wand at the Disneyland series at the start of the show in some episodes, not all the episodes though. One of the early episodes, she had a wand. So people who say, oh, it was like a Mandela effect, you never actually, that's a lie. But anyways, that's completely besides the point. Eventually, Tinkerbell would go through and get her own series of films back in 2008 with Tinkerbell. Very, very, very clever title. And then a lot of other films following with that. But right now, she wants to know if she will live. So we are going to have it. So it's Peter Pan, or not Peter Pan, Winnie the Pooh versus Tinkerbell. Which one is moving on to our Sweet 16? Throw your votes into the comments starting right now. You've got about 90 seconds to throw your votes in. These are two characters that are really beloved by a lot of people. I personally know who I would vote for. This one is actually a very, very, very easy vote for myself. But I do feel like there are lots of people who are massive, massive, massive Winnie the Pooh fans, and there are people who are massive, massive, massive Tinkerbell fans. And I am friends with both types of people in the world. So it's going to be a very interesting one to see who's going to go head to head. I know who I am voting for. I will put that out there. I know who I am voting for if it comes down to a tie. And right now, looking at all the votes between Facebook and YouTube, there's a very high chance that I will be, much like Winnie the Pooh, killing off a character tonight. Whether it's Winnie the Pooh or not, who knows? We will find out in about 15 seconds when the vote ends. Again, we do have a lot of people who are watching right now who are not voting. So if you're one of those people, throw your votes in. Your vote counts. Right now, you might be thinking, you know what? My vote's not going to count. There's no way that Tinkerbell's going to win or Winnie the Pooh's going to win. So, but, excuse me. Whoa! But your vote does matter. So throw it into the comments. Okay, we are wrapping up our vote here. Let's get to the count here. One. Wrong count. We have 1 for Winnie the Pooh, 2 for Winnie the Pooh, 2-1 with Tinkerbell getting a vote, 2-2, Tinkerbell has tied it up, 3-2 with Winnie the Pooh in the lead, 3-3, Tinkerbell has tied it up, 4-3, Winnie the Pooh has taken a thing, and 5-3, Winnie the Pooh moves on. And 12 people who have not voted. So Winnie the Pooh is moving on to our next round here. Winnie the Pooh, Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, Pooh. Who wins? Okay, that is going to be bringing us to our attraction round. I need 2 numbers between 1 and 8. Throw into the comments starting right now. Whichever one or whichever 2 are found first in the comments, those are going to be the 2 that are going to be going head to head against one another. And thank you. I appreciate that. Number 5 versus number 8. 5 versus 8 is going to be our next matchup of the evening. That's ironic. That is so funny. Okay. Wow. This is irony. Well, let's start us off here because one of them we have already talked about this evening, the Haunted Mansion. Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion. I am your host, your ghost host. We talked a lot about Haunted Mansion just a few minutes ago, so we're not going to go into too many more details. However, there is something that I do want to point out about the Haunted Mansion because some of the details are absolutely amazing. Because while you go through there are so many different details to other things. Like you can find a few different Jack Skellingtons and Sallys from The Nightmare Before Christmas found inside of the attraction over at Walt Disney World. That's a fun fact too, because most people are like, no, there's not any at all, and there's actually quite a few. And in addition to that, if you go to the end, there is a pet cemetery. And in that pet cemetery, you can actually find Mr. Toad. Underneath it says, "Here lies Toad, sad but true, much less profitable than Pooh." Because like we said, Winnie the Pooh killed off Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. And ironically, that is exactly what is going up against Haunted Mansion. And not only that, this is actually one of the most ironic twists in the history of mankind. So let me explain here on why this is such a great matchup. Now, when you go on the Haunted Mansion, you are merrily on your way to nowhere in particular. You are going on a wild ride with Mr. Toad as you go through a lot of different scenes of the story until eventually you get hit by a train and you end up in hell. And I know what you're thinking, that's just like a brutal way to end. And actually, that's the first time ever that in a Disney attraction, because that was an opening day attraction at Disneyland, it was the first time ever that Disney had it so people died on the attraction. You didn't actually die, but you died on the attraction. And the next time they would do it would be about 12 years later, or I'm not 12 years later. Yeah, about 12 years later. 14 years later. When the Haunted Mansion would open up, where guests would go out of the attic, they would turn around, and they would fall out the window and die as well. Because all of a sudden, now we have two attractions, the only two attractions that Disney's ever done, where you, on the attraction, are meant to go into the afterlife. One of them, you end up in hell. The other one, you are in the cemetery. And now you, a ghost as well, can see all the ghosts a lot more solidly because you're a ghost as well. And that is going to bring us to our next vote. Which one would you like to have move on to our Sweet 16? Would it be the Haunted Mansion or Mr. Toad's Wild Ride? You've got about 90 seconds to throw your votes in starting right now. It's crazy that those two are linked up because, wow, that like I was thinking about that when I was doing Haunted Mansion earlier. I was like, oh, it'd be like really funny if those two ended up going head to head at some point. And then ironically, the very next time we're doing attractions, they go head to head against one another. Side note, if you look right here, this right here is actually the deed to Toad Hall. It's got my name on there, right here it says Mr. Toad, and right here it says Brent Dodge. I love Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I do, but I do love Haunted Mansion a lot too. Pooh's not an option. Pooh's not an option. It's Haunted Mansion or Mr. Toad's Wild Ride are the two options right now. Okay. We're giving you guys about 10 more seconds here to vote. We have a lot of people, like I said, who are watching but not voting. Keep throwing your votes in there. Okay, we've got 1 for Mansion, 2 for Mansion, 3 for Mansion, 4. 1 for Winnie the Pooh. He's not part of the vote, so he doesn't count. 5 for Winnie the Pooh, or 5 for Haunted Mansion. Also, I'm throwing votes for Winnie the Pooh as well. 1 for Mr. Toad. There. 6-1, 6-2, 7-2. Haunted Mansion is going to be moving on to our next round here, as some people are just sitting out there having a jolly old time not voting for anything. Okay, I need two numbers between 1 and 8. This is going to be for our miscellaneous round. What do you want to have move on? Or what do you want to have go head-to-head? First two numbers to pop up in the comments will be our things that are going to be going head-to-head against one another. Also, I saw a veranda. It's going to be weird. No glass. It's all metal. I think I've seen a picture of the room one time, or those rooms. 7 versus 2. Okay, 7 versus 2 is going to be our next one here. What are 7 and 2? Oh, okay. Okay, this is going to be a very interesting vote. This is one of those that I have not experienced one of these things. So it is difficult for me to go through and try to sell people on this thing, but I'm going to do my darndest to make this a nice and even vote here. But one of the things is Aulani. Aulani can be found over in Hawaii. It is one of Disney's private resorts. It's actually their only private resort over in Hawaii. And I was like trying to figure out what to say about this place that I've never been to. In addition to it being a hotel, there are also several different things that guests can do here. There is a lobby that has it so guests can go through and they can learn different Hawaiian phrases. There's different things like a book, and then underneath they'll say the Hawaiian phrase for book. Or there'll be a turtle, and they'll have the Hawaiian word for turtle. There are lots of different things at Aulani that just seem unbelievable. In addition to that, they have a private little pool area that can be found in the back, including scuba diving and so much more. Overall, going to Aulani does seem like a dream come true. It is one of those places that I would love to go to some point. I just have not had the opportunity to go to yet. So if you've been to Aulani, let me know in the comments too, because I think it sounds amazing. Going up against Aulani is something that most people who are in this chat room have probably done, whether they've been to Walt Disney World or to Disneyland, because it's an experience they can have at both places. Both of them have very unique experiences, and both of them have a very similar experience as well, if that makes sense at all. But you'll know when I start to talk about it. Because I'm walking right down the middle of Main Street, USA. That's right, we talked about it last time, but a walk down Main Street, USA is one of those rites of passages that most people who go to a Disney castle-style theme park have experienced at one point or another. Overall, it does seem like one of the amazing experiences in the world, because when you're walking down Main Street, USA, you're walking straight towards that castle, and you know in your heart of hearts that you are finally there at the place where dreams come true. And that is going to bring us to our next vote here. Which one would you like to have move on to the Sweet 16? Either Aulani or just a simple walk down Main Street, USA. You've got about 90 seconds to throw your votes into the comments, starting right now. I'm walking right down the middle of Main Street, USA. I love Eric's vote. Aulani, never been there, but I'm voting because it has palm trees. Fair enough. We all have different reasons to vote. I really want to go to Aulani at some point. If Aulani wins this entire tournament, at the end of this entire thing, one person, and one person only, in the comments will pay for all of us to go to Aulani. I'm not paying, but someone out there, we're just going to randomly choose one person in the thing and be like, hey, guess what? You are paying for all of us to go to Aulani. I think it's a great idea. Probably not a great idea for that one person, but at the same time, for the rest of us, this just sounds like heaven. Okay, you've got about 10 seconds left to throw your votes in. Both of these sound like amazing things. I think both of these have very unique experiences. Well, let's find out what you think should move on to our next round. We have Aulani, Main Street USA. Main Street USA. That right now that's a 2-1 with Main Street USA in the lead. Aulani ties it up 3-2. Main Street USA. 4-2. Main Street USA. 5-2. 5-3. 6-3. My wife just quit her job, so I'm out of that. 9-3, No, Eric's not going to pay for us. I choose. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Well, it doesn't matter because Alani didn't win. Main Street USA is our winner, and that is what we are going to be doing. Is we're going to be walking right down the Main Street USA. Main Street wins. Okay, we are going up to our movie category again. Which one do you want to have go head to head? We need two numbers between 1 and 6. Throw your numbers into the comments. The first two that I see in the comments will be going head to head against one another, starting right now. I'm walking right down the middle of Main Street, USA. That is number 4 versus number 4 versus right now Annalise. It has it, so it's just 4 against 4. 4 against 3 is going to be our next matchup here. 4 against 3. Oh, this is like going to be just a slaughter. Maybe it might be a slaughter. It might be. It's going to be a slaughter. I'm making the prediction right now that it might not be a complete blockout, but it's going to be really close. It's going to be okay. We'll figure it out. Now that I say that, people are going to be like, I'm going to vote for the one that he doesn't think is going to win, and then that one's going to end up winning because everyone's going to think everyone. Two classic movies. One is classic from the olden age of Disney. Another one is a classic in the Renaissance period of Disney. So let's start off with one of the greatest songs of all time. Canine Crunchies, good to eat. Canine Crunchies, they're so sweet. Canine Crunchies, I love Canine Crunchies. If you don't know what that's from, I'm sorry. But because it's from 101 Dalmatians. Oh, man. All of a sudden I got... Do you like boundaries so I can come watch with you here on YouTube? Anyways, 101 Dalmatians tells the story of Pongo and Perdita, who have 15 puppies. Unfortunately for them, their mother, Perdita, not Perdita, Anita, has it so her old college roommate is Cruella de Vil, who just wants to kill the puppies and turn them into a fur coat. So she kidnaps the 15 puppies along with several other, 84 other puppies, in hopes of having it so her henchmen, Horace and Jasper, will kill off the puppies to make a to make a coat for her to be stylish with 101 puppies completely murdered. By the way, Cruella de Vil, truly, I think she's like one of the most evil. Like she literally wants to kill off 101 puppies specifically for fashion. That's mind-boggling to me. I think that's one of the worst Disney villains of all time. That's a pretty big death count too if she would have gone through it. However, the biggest death count in Disney history is Mulan, but that's not. That would have been a great segue if Mulan was the other movie, but it's not. But we have not just one, not just two, but literally thousands of characters who attempt to kill one character, and they all fail miserably. That's right. We're talking about the Lion King, and we're talking about the Wildebeest. We're just talking about Lion King. Lion King came out into the theaters back in 1994 and tells the story of Simba, who just can't wait to be king. Unfortunately for Simba, he has a terrible uncle, unlike myself, who I feel like I'm a very good uncle. But he has a very terrible uncle named Scar, who also wants to be king. And so Scar's plan is to kill his brother Mufasa along with his nephew Simba, so he can actually become the rightful king of Pride Rock. He succeeds in killing his brother. However, he does not succeed in killing his nephew. His nephew escapes to a Hakuna Matata lifestyle with Timon and Pumbaa until eventually his old girlfriend, Nala, comes and convinces him that he should go back to Pride Rock and take back the throne. With some words of wisdom from Rafiki, remember who you are. Actually, that was the ghost of Mufasa who said that, but Rafiki points him in the right direction. He does go back to Pride Rock and becomes the Lion King. And that brings us to our next vote here. Who would you like to move on to our next round? 101 Dalmatians or the Lion King? You've got 90 seconds to throw your votes in, starting right now. Cruella de Vil. I think Cruella, and if you've never seen the Cruella movie, the live action movie, that is probably my favorite live action movie that Disney's done. Just extremely well done. I have a feeling that the one I was thinking is going to be a runaway is going to be The Lion King, but at the same time, I know people out there do love 101 Dalmatians. I feel like 101 Dalmatians has a fighting chance, but I feel like Lion King will be the winner in this round. I feel like we're going to be saying goodbye to a lot of different characters. Well, 101 characters, plus a few other humans here pretty quickly. Also, Joey, I don't know, Joey's probably not watching. Joey, every now and then, he pops on here. Joey works at Disneyland, and for Disneyland's 100th anniversary, they got to have their favorite characters on their name tags instead of their hometown. And he had General Tibbs, the cat from 101 Dalmatians, which I thought brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Okay, you've got about 10 seconds left to throw your votes in here. Actually, this is turning out to be a much closer vote than I thought it was going to be. Right now, we've got a total of 31 people who are watching between both things. We only have about 10 people who are voting, though. So if you're one of those 21 people who are not voting yet, throw your votes into the comments. It's either Lion King or 101 Dalmatians. We're not going to judge whichever one you want. Just let us know which one you want to have move on so your favorite thing has a chance to move on. And that is going to bring us to our vote here, vote count. We have 1 for Lion King, 2 for Lion King, 2-1, 101 Dalmatians has a vote, 2-2, 3-2, Lion King pulls in the lead, 4-2, 5-2, 5-3, 5-4, 5-5. It is currently a 5-5 vote. 21 people are just being silent, so I have to kill off things tonight. Okay, voting is up. It is a 5-5 vote. We have either The Lion King or 101 Dalmatians moving on to the next round here. Oh, man. I just assumed that Lion King was going to run away with this. Like, I was 100% convinced. So here's my thought process. I really like Lion King. Lion King is, without a doubt, one of my favorite movies of all time. If I had to choose my top 5 Disney films of all time, Lion King's probably up there. But at the same time, if I had to choose my favorite villains of all time, Cruella de Vil, isn't that a good watch line? My watch is charging right now. Cruella de Vil is my... Have you guys seen my foot tan? Wait a minute. I'm going to distract you guys while I come up with the difficult life choices here. Let's see if we can get this up here. Look at that foot tan. Because I wear sandals every day. Maybe I should have shown that because some people probably don't realize that it actually, yes, sweet tan line is what they said. Cruella de Vil is hands down one of my favorite Disney villains, if not my favorite Disney villain of all time. I think she's just so well. Dude, where's the sock in the shower? I think she is so well done. And I'm tempted to vote for 101 Dalmatians solely for the purpose that I did not think it was going to get into the Sweet 16. And I like having a good come-from-behind story. And 101 Dalmatians in this vote would be a great come-from-behind story. But I think it's time for me to vote because I want both of them to move on. But this is how we're going to do it. We're going to... do I have a coin? Should I just flip a coin to decide? No. I'm just gonna man up and I'm gonna do this the only way that I can do this in the world. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by its toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I never signed either one. Okay. This is really difficult. Especially when I look over here and I can see the Lion King. I can see Simba looking at me. Cruella's over there. Oh, Simba's over there too. You know what? Long live the king. But I'm moving 101 Dalmatians on. I don't know why. I really have no reason why, besides the fact that I like the underdog story. I did not think 101 Dalmatians would move on to the Sweet 16, and I'm moving it on to the Sweet 16. 100 Dalmatians is moving on to our next round here. And Just cue the people in the comments who are going to be bashing me for that. Okay. It is what are usually our time. It's usually up for our time for the show. Right now, we are still at 4,520. Someone is getting. You kill the Lion King. Unbelievable. Someone is getting canceled. We're still at 4,529 subscribers. We're going to go into one more vote. This is how it's going to work. If you guys can get us up, if you can get us up to 4,530 before this next vote is up, we'll go into one more vote after that. And then if you can get us up to 4,531, we will go into one more vote after that, etc., etc., etc. But let's start off with our next vote. This could possibly be our final note or vote of the evening. I need two numbers between 1 and 6. So this is going back into our character lineup. Which two characters would you like to have move on? First two numbers to pop up will be going head to head against one another. Two numbers, 1 through 6. We have number 1 and number 1 and number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's it gonna be? I can't believe I killed Lion King. That's a decision I might regret later in life. And number 4, 1 versus 4. 1 versus, oh my gosh. We should have ended on the last one because right now I might not be ending this episode on a very happy note for myself. Let's start off with the one, the only, my favorite character, Scrooge McDuck. Scrooge McDuck originally made his debut in a comic book. You should get a tattoo with the tombstones of every character movie, etc. You get killed off. That'd actually be pretty funny. It was like Coda, Lion King, Coda. We're going to start off with Scrooge McDuck here. Scrooge McDuck originally debuted in a comic book called Christmas on Bear Mountain, where it was pretty much a play on the story of Ebenezer Scrooge, where that's how he got his name Scrooge, except for McDuck came from being a duck. With that storyline, we got the introduction of a brand new Disney character who took the world by storm. Along the way, he became the most popular character in comic books, where we have several different Uncle Scrooge comics. He also became the character with the most elaborate backstory in the history of Disney storytelling. That's right. If you take a look at characters like Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, Pluto, Donald Duck, etc., none of them have such an elaborate backstory and such a spread of different characters that are connected to them as Scrooge McDuck. He is hands down one of the most popular Disney characters of all time. Back in the 1980s through the 1990s, he starred in his own television series called DuckTales, woohoo, and then it got a reboot back in the 2010s, and that show was also called DuckTales, woohoo. Overall, he has been featured in a few different short cartoons, a movie, Mickey's Christmas Carol, and so many other beloved projects, but he is also going to go against one of the most popular Disney characters of all time. And that's what makes me extremely nervous here. Because going up against him is a character that made his debut back in 1930. When he first made his debut, he was a chain gang dog trying to track down Mickey Mouse. Shortly after that, he got a name, Rover, and he was Minnie Mouse's dog. Shortly after that, he got a name change again, Pluto, where he became Pluto or Mickey Mouse's loyal companion and is still his loyal companion to this day. Pluto would go on to star in so many different short cartoons, both with Mickey and all by himself, and became one of the most popular characters of all time. So that is going to bring us to possibly our last vote of the night, unless we get a brand new subscriber. Which one would you like to have move on to the next round? Scrooge McDuck or Pluto? You've got 90 seconds to throw your vote right now. Oh, I feel like Scrooge maybe has a chance. Maybe we should just do an episode right now that's just all about Scrooge McDuck, just to give people an understanding of why they should be voting for Scrooge McDuck. I mean, he found, okay, while you guys go through and you vote for, I'm assuming Pluto, let's talk a little about Scrooge McDuck, because I just want to open your eyes. There's a lot of votes coming in right now. I've been asking people to vote all night, and now we have tons of votes coming in. We are going to do a short history lesson on Scrooge McDuck over the next few minutes. While we go through the short history lesson, you are more than welcome to vote for Scrooge or vote for Pluto, or switch your vote from Pluto to Scrooge. Not the other way around, though. So Scrooge McDuck grew up in Scotland, and his father decided that he was going to put him to work. Scrooge McDuck became a shoe shinist, and when he became a shoe shinist, he was shining someone's shoes, his very first customer ever, and his father decided to set him up for, to show that sometimes hard work does cause things to boil up inside. So Scrooge McDuck goes up, and he starts to shoe shine this guy's shoe, and the guy says, "Thanks, kid," and he tosses him a coin. Now, keep in mind, we are in Scotland, and the guy decided to give him a dime. That's right, a dime for, look at that. Moments of the Magic. Member for 5 months. Oh, yeah. If you want to become a member, it's somewhere down there on, I don't know. It says join or something. Is that what it says on YouTube? I don't know. So anyways, he gets the number one dime, his first coin ever, the number one dime. He feels cheated, and he decides that he is going to get vengeance on this guy. And the way he's going to get vengeance is by using it to get hard work paid off. So because of the dime, he decides that he's going to go off to America and try to find his fortune. When he goes out there, he goes through so many hardships. He goes through paddle boat races and different things like that. And no matter where he turns, he finds failure until eventually he strikes it rich. And when he strikes it rich, he becomes eventually the richest duck in the entire world. And that, my friends, is the story of Scrooge McDuck. So let's go to the votes, because I'm leaving. I don't want to see this happening, but I vote Scrooge McDuck. 1 for Scrooge. That's 2 for Scrooge. 3 for Scrooge. 4 for Scrooge. 5 for Scrooge. And now I guess I should go to all the ones that I skipped that say Pluto. 5-1, 6-1, 7-1. Wait. What? 1, 2, 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, 3-3. Right now it is tied. 4-3. Pluto's in the lead. 5-3, 6-3, 6-4, 6-5, 7-5. And Pluto moves on. I will remember you, Scrooge, 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 Scrooge. Will you remember me, Scrooge, 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 Scrooge? They killed you off, but I love you. Oh, come on now, Scroogey-Doo. Okay. The only way for this night to get better is if we go up 1 subscriber and we can go into another round that's not as depressing as the round that we just ended on. So, cross your fingers that we're at 4,530. You people, you monsters. Okay, so that's going to wrap up our show. Thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed. You know what? Let's do one more poll. The poll here is, would you like to have it so next week we do another bracket series, or would you like to have it so we do something else next week? Let me know in the comments, and we will figure out if whatever you guys say right now will be what we go to. So we are either going to another bracket series next week, or we'll do another episode about either an attraction or whatever instead. But thank you everyone for joining us once again tonight. I hope you guys all enjoyed the episode up until the moment when Scrooge died. Then we were just all, we all cried a lot. It was awful. Absolutely awful. But thank you for joining us. As always, remember that anything can happen if you let it. Keep sending those subscribers over. We are getting closer and closer to that 5,000 subscriber, and we are going to go through and have it so we take this down. We got one for bracket, 2, 3 for bracket. We also have a trivia challenge, something else. Bring back all the losers and then have a big party and hug them all night. So remember that anything can happen. Disneyland Forward. We could actually do a Disneyland Forward episode. That's kind of a good idea. I kind of like that idea. And we can go into more details next week about it. Ooh, that's what we're going to do. Maybe. We'll see. Because right now it does kind of seem even that we've had a lot of brackets. And we have had a lot of brackets. We've done 3 of the last 4 episodes have been about brackets. So maybe next week we will do something different. And then we'll go back to the brackets in 2 weeks. If that works for everyone. And then sometime in the very near future, we will do an episode from the park as well. So, so next week we'll do something different. And then brackets in 2 weeks. And then maybe the week after that, we will go to the park. And then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We'll figure it all out from there. But remember that anything can happen if you let it. Until next time, have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Are they gone? Are they gone? Oh, good. My cheeks are just killing me. I just can't stand this.